Someone pulled out a line of credit under my name for, it was around 19.5 thousand.
Steve Jones never walked into a CIBC bank in his life. Never opened an account. Never applied for anything. Never had a single conversation with that institution. And yet, someone used his name to borrow $19,500 from them, spent it, disappeared, and left Steve with the consequences. Steve described the moment he found out.
Pulled out a line of credit under my name for, it was around 19.5 thousand.
He did not lose cash. He did not lose savings. He lost something quieter, something that took decades to build, something he desperately needed in September. Stay with me, because this one hits differently. Okay, so picture this. Steve works full-time, pays every bill on time, every single month, for decades. Not because he had to, because that is who he is. That discipline had built something he was quietly proud of. A clean credit history. A good score. The kind of number that opens doors. He had a mortgage renewal coming in September. His credit score was going to determine what he paid and for how long. That score represented everything he had worked for. Then January arrived. And so did the letter. Standard formatting, corporate logo, a letter from CIBC stating his credit privileges had been blocked. Steve had never been a CIBC customer. Not once. Not ever. He called immediately, and what he heard should have been the beginning of a resolution. He recalled what the bank told him.
We are aware it's highly fraudulent and we have froze the account, and an investigator will be calling you in 5 to 10 business days.
The bank already knew. The account was already frozen. An investigator was coming. His credit would not be affected. He wrote the timeline down on a notepad near his desk. 5 to 10 business days. The investigator never called. February. Another letter. Final past due notice. Nearly $20,000. Pay in full, or your credit rating will suffer. Steve called again, ready to pick up where January had left off, except there was nothing to pick up. He described what the representative told him.
A month later, I called. They said they had no record of me contacting them.
No record, no notation, no trace of the January call. Gone, like it never happened. So Steve started calling every few days, just like he had been advised. Each call explained everything from the beginning. Each time, a different voice. Same story, same instruction. Keep waiting, keep calling. It will take time. He described what that felt like.
I was doing a lot of the legwork to make sure this was getting pushed forward.
What do you think of that?
It was terrible.
And while he was on hold and repeating himself and writing down reference numbers, his credit score was quietly dropping, from good to fair, tied directly to a fraudulent account the bank had already confirmed was not his, already frozen, still destroying the score he had spent decades building. And September kept getting closer. He described the pressure. I'm very stressed about this.
Because due to this, it's hitting my credit rating pretty bad, or my credit score, and I need to remortgage here in September.
He even started paying out of his own pocket for credit monitoring. He later asked CIBC whether they would cover that cost. He never received an answer. Months of phone calls achieved nothing. Then Steve contacted Consumer Matters at Global News, handed over everything, the letters, the screenshots, the notepad with January's dates. Within days of the program reaching out to CIBC, the bank called Steve. His credit would be corrected within 3 to 5 business days. Fixed in days, after months of going nowhere alone. Let that sink in. Here is what you need to do right now. Check your full credit report twice a year, not just the score. Every account listed. Look for anything you do not recognize. A fraudulent line of credit will sit there silently until you find it. Every time you report something, get a reference number. Write it down with the date. Because if that record disappears the way Steve's did, you have proof it existed. And if months are passing with no movement, escalate immediately. Consumer advocacy programs and media attention create urgency that phone calls sometimes cannot. Do not wait. Use every tool available to you. The balance has been removed. The score is recovering. September is coming. But the question that has never been answered, how was a loan opened in his name at a bank he had never entered, remains completely unresolved. The notepad with January's dates is still on his desk. In his own words,
Actually a little bit of shock because I had no idea that this would happen.
nobody does. That is exactly the point. Steve was careful, disciplined, responsible, and it still happened. That is why this channel exists. Not just to tell you what happened, but to make sure you see it coming before it reaches you. If something like this has shown up on your credit file, drop it in the comments. Your story could be the warning someone else needs before their mortgage date arrives. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it now. Every day we trace another case exactly like this one. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We will see you in the next one.